Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, the 10th day of June. It's National Egg Roll Day today. I didn't think I liked egg rolls till about, 15, 20 years ago. Then I tried one. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of good.
I'm still not really a fan.
They're pretty good.
They're too chewy.
If you don't like egg rolls, just roll an egg today. Maybe that'll do the same thing. National Ballpoint Pen Day today. National Black Cow Day today, National Herbs and Spices Day today, and my favorite thing on the list, National Iced Tea Day today.
I do like iced tea.
Did you know iced tea?
Unsweetened.
Oh, yeah, it's good stuff. Did you know that iced tea is only just a little over 100 years old?
I did not.
Yeah, it was like during the World's Fair, I think 1904, St. Louis.
I don't know how you know so much about this World's Fair.
Well, because it was fascinating. A lot of stuff happened there. But at that fair, it was so hot, somebody took tea and said, you know what? I'm going to put ice in it. And then everybody was like, what? And then we all do that. Well, not all of us, but some of us. Also, it is a Thursday, so we have a Dear John letter to get to today. And I'm excited to see if Heidi and I agree on this particular Dear John letter. We'll find out in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. New study finds that 1 in 5 people have actually banned a board game for causing problems on game night. Out of those who brought down the ban hammer the most... Monopoly, yes, stands out as the most debated and most forbidden board game of all time.
Yes.
And according to the same new survey, more than 41% of board game arguments end with the board being flipped or pieces being thrown. Which reminds me of a story. Was it your dad?
Yes.
He was winning,
dad.
right?
No, he was...
losing?
Mom was winning, and she
losing.
wanted to keep playing till everybody was bankrupt, and he didn't see a
It's
point.
like, we're done. You already won.
She's like, you already won.
And then he flipped the board game and went and had a beer and calmed down a bit. So if you thought your family was the only one, well, you're wrong. Surveys and studies and such, brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. An Army Lance Corporal who drove to McDonald's while 3 times over the alcohol limit was so drunk, she tried to order food from a police officer who was sent out to arrest her. That's too bad. 33-year-old Kaylee Marie Goodall, 33, caught driving over the road after boozing it up with friends. She got to go to jail for a bit. She was in a drunken haze, May 15th, decided, I'm going to McDonald's. It's a bad idea, by the way. Do not drink and drive. The drive-thru, by the way, is cordoned off. She still pulled in. Police caught her. She attempted to get fast food from the car window, but she was not talking to a McDonald's officer or a McDonald's person. She was talking to an officer instead. She asked for food to go. Ended up getting removed from the car, had 116 micrograms of alcohol and 100 milliliters of breath. I don't know what that means, but it's 3 times the legal limit. The driving ban would mean she'll not be able to continue her specialist, which was driving communications in the Army.
Oh, no.
So, it's not a good. This late night fast food fix just messed up her career. It's a bad idea. She cannot drive for 27 months now. And again, it messed up her career. So don't do that. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. The Alamo Draft House is going to open 5 new theaters after emerging from bankruptcy, which is kind of crazy because theaters have been hit really hard.
But yeah, I'm surprised they're opening new ones.
But they're saying, you know what? We're banking on the fact that people are going to want to get out and do this again. So they're saying, we're doing it. We're opening them up. So there's 5 new theaters. I don't know if there's a link here. Maybe there's a list of where they're going to be. But I'm excited because I would be really sad to have a world with no theaters.
Oh, I would.
really would.
I would be very sad, even though I don't go to them very often.
I know, but when we go, it's always fun and it's an experience. And I don't know, I would miss them a lot. HBO Max is releasing a new streaming platform. $9.99 a month, includes commercials and excludes theatrical releases. So I'm not exactly sure what the difference is between that and the other one they have, but apparently there's something. Chrissy Teigen back on Instagram after her cyberbullying scandal. If you didn't keep up with the scandal, good for you, by the way. She was accused of threatening several Hollywood actresses in direct messages, and then she got booted. But now they say, okay, you can come back. That is Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. A growing number of classic car owners are turning them electric to be compliant with government's push to cut emissions. So there are people out there taking a car that was not a electric car to start with. It was not an electric car, I should say.
And ruining them.
Well, no, switching it over to make it an electric car. And it's kind of interesting to see what some of the people are doing. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to do that, but, I know a lot of folks that are into that kind of thing. An artist has sold what he's calling the world's first invisible sculpture. This has been in the news for the last week here, and I'm finally getting to the story myself. Described as a 4'9" void of nothingness. Sold for thousands of dollars. So for those of you who'd like to come to my gallery showing, you don't need to leave the house. It's a virtual showing because it's nothing and it's everywhere. It's all around you, but that's my gallery showing. So how does art get this bizarre?
Right, it's gotten so random.
But somebody paid thousands of dollars for 4'9" of nothingness. So
that's just
there's a lot of jokes that I could use here, but I'm going to take the high road and move forward. A video from Chester Zoo in England going viral, showing a rare couple of dancing lemurs. The species nicknamed dancing lemurs because they appear to dance while they walk.
Oh, cute.
Which is kind of the opposite of me. I appear to walk when I dance.
I do like lemurs.
Lemurs are pretty cool.
They're so cute.
Second time today we talked about Instagram because Chrissy Teigen was kicked off and she's back on. Well, an Instagram model claims that Twitter banned her for being too hot.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's the reason.
So I had to click the link just to see. I'm like, how hot is too hot to be banned from Twitter? Because I'm on Twitter. They didn't kick me off of there. So I clearly didn't make the cut. And I clicked the link and I'm like, she looks just like a normal person to me.
I'm sure that's exactly the reason.
So maybe it's something else. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you are too hot. And I have a link if you want to do some research of your own. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters. All right, this letter I think will be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to seeing what Heidi's advice is. And thank you, by the way, to those of you who have chimed in with your advice on our Facebook page. We'll tell you how to do that again here at the end. But here we go. Dear John, we've not traveled in a long time. We're planning a little trip now, and everyone in the family wants to go somewhere different. I'm kind of sad about something my son said while we were discussing options. He said, "It doesn't matter where I want to go. It's going to be wherever you and Dad want to go anyway." My husband and I talked about this tonight, and my husband thinks our son is just manipulating me by saying this. I really don't think he is, but it made me think about the last few times we made a decision as a family. We were the ones who ultimately decided. I think it's time to let the kids pick something. What are your thoughts on this? How do we make this fair for everyone in the family? Signed, Maybe Manipulated Mom. First of all, thank you for the letter, but Heidi, what do you think?
Well, certainly ask for their opinion. They're kids. At the end of the day, they may not have anything that's even realistic, feasible, or
Here's the thing. I wish that there would be some context because I don't know how many kids we're talking about. And the kid that your husband thinks is manipulating you, I don't know if this is a 5-year-old or if this is like a 17-year-old. So it's a little tough for me without the context. And but I'm going to just kind of guess my way through this. So that's kind of what I do in life. Do you have anything else you want to add before I go down this path?
I think ask the kids' opinions and then put it to a family vote.
I agree with that completely. Keeping in mind, at the end of the day, I don't think it's a bad thing that the last few times you made a decision, it was you guys, the mom and dad, that ultimately made the decision. I think that's what it should be. Again, I'm not saying that the kids' advice doesn't matter. Their advice definitely matters, but you're the parents. So, you got to do what makes the most sense. If you want to take some tiny steps and say, hey, kids, we're going to let you make the choice, start with something smaller than a trip, something like movie night. Hey, you know what? If there's 4 kids, tonight, you get to pick a movie. Tomorrow, you get to pick a movie.
Right.
And then you, and then you. And then maybe work your way up to things like, what are we having for dinner tonight? You know what? It's your turn to pick. And it's your turn to pick.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying that you can't do that with a family trip, but it reminds me of a family trip that we almost took in 2018. Kind of like you. We hadn't traveled in a long time. At the time, our kids both still lived at home. Now we're empty nesters. But back then, our son and our daughter, who are now adults, they both still lived at home with us. And we were going to take our very last family trip. And it was going to, because we tried to make everybody's opinion matter, it was going to turn into a 2-week road trip where we were logging hundreds of miles every day.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we finally decided that doesn't make any sense. So we picked a different plan, and our kids had a blast. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you they had way more fun doing what we did rather than sitting in a hot car all summer long, for 2 months of a summer, riding all over the country. Sometimes it's tough because you're going, well, yeah, they want to do this, but we want to do that. But kids don't always know what's best, So if they're saying, hey, I want to do this, but there's a real reason that you shouldn't do that, like, hey, guys, that's not feasible this year. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't always register to them why that is.
Well, and at the end of the day, you're paying for the trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you know how many family vacations, like actual vacations that we went on with my family?
Yeah.
0. Not a single one.
But you guys had a lot of fun.
Be grateful.
You did a lot of fun stuff, though. But and here's the thing. I was going to say, going back to the kids don't necessarily always know what is best. Again, nothing against kids. Kids, I love you. Uncle John loves you. But think about it this way. Henry Ford had a really great quote. He said, if I would have asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses because they didn't even know what a car was.
Right.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that kids are going to have bad ideas. But if they're going, hey, I want to go to this place or I want to go to that place. But if you know that, okay, that's going to be our entire budget for one day of fun at that one place, and we're going to have to go there and we're going to come back and it's going to be a really short, really expensive, or we could have a lot of fun and do this and do things that they maybe wouldn't have thought of. Again, so my advice would be give the kids a chance. If your big concern is that you think that, well, I don't ever let them win an argument, I always get my way. Let them have their way on some small stuff. And when it comes to the vacation, I would still, as a mom and dad, I would have the ultimate say. What are your thoughts, Heidi?
Yeah. Ask their opinion and do a family vote.
There you go. All right. Would you like to chime in with your advice? You can do that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/JohnandHeidiShow.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Comic Sans. You've heard of that, right? The
I have the font, yes.
It came from an actual comic book. A lot of people nowadays know that font, and it's usually one that's quite contentious. If you use that in a business document, people will make fun of you. But it was designed by Vincent Conner, who drew direct inspiration from his favorite comic book, a couple of them actually, Alan Moore, David Gibson's celebrated Watchmen series. That's where he came up with the font.
Okay.
Comic Sans. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, radiotravelgroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline China. A herd of wild elephants has been wandering through China, destroying farms, trampling villages, caused over $1 million in property damages so far.
Really?
Yeah, wild elephants on the loose, rampaging through China, which is just crazy.
I
But
love elephants.
elephants are awesome, but would you want an angry elephant coming at you? No
Oh,
way.
no.
We just had a story the other day about an angry hippo that was tearing up things apart.
I
Now,
wonder what they're angry about.
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's like, hey, you know what? Go back to last year. You guys all stayed out of our way last year. Now everybody's out hiking again.
That could be.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's not what it is. That is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Bizarre story here. A Florida man accused of killing an iguana last year wants his charges of animal cruelty dismissed on the basis of the Stand Your Ground law. And I kind of understand where he's coming from. A judge denied his motion, though. PJ Nyla Patterson, arrested after allegedly beating, dragging, and kicking a 3-foot iguana in September of 2020. The animal died, but listen to what happened. His attorney filed a motion to dismiss the charges. The motion to dismiss, by the way, was denied. But here's what happened. They said he was trying to save the iguana's life. It was on the road. He went out, grabbed it, and dragged it to the side of the road so he wouldn't get hit by cars. As he brought it to safety, a crowd that was standing by, they were yelling and screaming, the people, about this.
Thought he was hurting it.
And that agitated the animal, who then bit his arm.
Oh.
And this animal was attacking him. That's when he threw the animal, was trying to get rid of it, but it was biting him, and he had to kick the animal. 22 staples in his arm because of the bite, according to the motion. His attorney maintains his innocence. And they say, I'm going to fight this case until the very end. So I don't know what really happened. If that's what really happened, you got to understand that, okay, he was trying to help.
Himself.
But there are people saying, no, that's just what they're saying. That's not what he was doing. I don't know. Who knows? It's a good thing I'm not in charge of making decisions on this thing. But it is today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Thieves broke into a Harley-Davidson dealership, had some trouble getting away with the bikes, though. At 3 a.m., Appleton Harley-Davidson delership, thieves rammed one of the bikes into the front door, trying to break through the glass and just, drive away, which would have been like, really cool, but it didn't work.
Didn't work out like that.
No. It says the 3 of the thieves made it out on motorcycles, but 2 others did not. One of the bikes got stuck in the door. The other was trapped behind him. Thieves were seen on video running from the scene. Store owner says 2 of the 3 bikes stolen were on consignment, while one of them was a custom-made motorcycle. The incident marked the 12th time a Harley-Davidson dealership has been a target over the last several months, but it was the first time in this part of the country. It says here, it's got all the states where they've had issues with this. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. But what a bizarre thing to do. And then to not figure out that, okay, I probably should have gotten a bike that fit through the door.
Wow.
Yeah, bad idea. Don't do that, by the way. Don't steal stuff. It's not good. You'll end up here in today's Moment of Duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by Time4Rehab.com. Heidi is ready to
I'm ready.
Hopefully get one right.
I'm going to
'cause
get
it's
it
been
today.
It's been a while.
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good too. Whatever you think the other thing.
I did that yesterday, and that didn't
okay.
work out so well.
How about this one? Silver Sands, Prescott, Arizona.
I'm going to say that's a golf course.
And it's a rehab center.
No way!
It is. It really is.
I think you're lying.
I'm not.
I think every day you say it's the opposite.
I'm not, but I'll tell you what, it's getting quite comical how many times in a row you've been wrong. And then she'll get one right every once in a while, and then you should see her, like for the rest of the day, she's just walking on. I got one right. I'm the coolest person alive. All right, that's how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by timeforrehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Take a listen to this headline. Woman donates kidney to ex-husband's ex-wife 2 days after wedding.
Ex-husband's ex-wife?
So I kind of botched the headline. I'll read it again. Woman donates kidney to husband's ex-wife 2 days after the wedding. So Debbie Neal Strickland married Jim Mirth. Debbie donated a kidney to James' ex-wife 2 days later.
Holy cow.
It says she's 59. She's had a kidney disease for quite a while. By last year, she was ghostly pale, dark circles under her eyes, dragging herself through the workday with no energy. By the time she was admitted to the hospital, her kidneys were only functioning at 8%.
Oh my gosh.
Now, these two have been divorced for about 2 decades, but they get along really well. They raised their children, even though they were divorced, raised their children together. He was getting married, and the new wife said, I'm going to see if I'm a match. And she said, God told me you're a match. You need to do this. After testing.
Well, if God tells you.
Exactly.
You
After
can't.
testing, they were able to do this. Then it would happen to be 2 days after their wedding. It was the most amazing day of my life until 2 days later. Now that's the most amazing day of my life.
What
How cool
an
is that?
amazing woman.
Absolutely. As soon as she regained consciousness, the new bride asked about the ex-wife. A few floors below, she was also pleading with the nurses, I need to see her. That was the first thing out of my mouth. Debbie could already see the difference. The circles under Malin's eyes were gone. She looked so alive and revitalized. Now Debbie and Malin call each other kidney sisters. How fun is that?
I wouldn't.
They pray for each other, and they're even planning big trips together for this summer. It says, this is what the world is about. Family. We need to stick together. She saved my life. I love that story.
I wouldn't give my ex-husband's wife half of my nachos, much less half of my body parts.
Well, it takes all kinds, Heidi. On that note, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.